Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Making Things with Ms. Madison. Thank you for joining us for another week of fun crafts and activities. This month we've been talking about a word called creativity. Do you remember what that word means? Creativity is imagining all of the cool things that you could do because you know that you're made in God's image. And last week we talked about how we worship a creative God. A God who created the whole universe from space all the way down to the tiniest little ant. And he also created you to be just like him in that way. He created you to be creative. And so we're going to keep talking about creativity this week. We're also talking about light because there's a verse where Jesus tells us to be like light and salt. Have you ever heard that before? To be the light of the world, to be salt of the earth. Well, if you check out this week's jam session video that's posted on the Facebook page, you'll hear all about it. They tell it really well, so go check that video out, okay? But light's really important. Light makes it so you can see me right now. Light makes it so that you can do lots of things in your life. It'd be hard to do things if you can't see, if you don't have light. Light shines onto everything. And so Jesus tells us to be light as well. To share and shine his love, his light wherever we go. So that when people meet us, they see light. They get to encounter Jesus' love. And we share Jesus' love with everyone that we meet. So we're going to be doing an activity today with light. We are going to be making shadow puppets. And so to make these puppets, we're going to need a few different things. First, you're going to need a shoe box or a cereal box or a little box. Any kind of like cardboard box would be awesome. Because something that you can cut or fold. You're going to need to fold it so you can see through it. You're also going to need a big piece of paper. A light color is best. Like a white piece of paper makes it easiest to see. But a big one. I already skipped a step and we'll get to that in a second. You also need some darker paper. I have black and some purple. You'll need scissors. And you'll need some tape or some glue. And then you'll also need something to hold the puppets on. And so you can use straws. You can use popsicle sticks, pipe cleaners. I used pencils. I used pencils for mine. So that's what we're going to be using today. So go grab those things and we'll get started in just a second. Now that you have your supplies, let's get started. First, with your box. We're going to make it so you can see through your box. So take one side and cut it out. Cut out the bottom. That's what I did. I cut the bottom out of my box and folded in the top. So it looks like a big tunnel. That's what you want to do. So I skipped a step because that one takes a little bit. And I didn't want you just to have to be stuck watching me cut cardboard because that can take a while. Next, you're going to take a big piece of paper and tape it all along the sides. So it covers the whole thing. Make sure, I made this mistake, make sure you don't use several pieces of paper that overlap. Because when the paper overlaps like this, it's hard to see through it and it's harder to see your puppets. All right? So now that you have your stage all set up, we're going to get started on the puppets. Now these you can be super creative and really make whatever you want. What I love about these is you can draw anything. So I'm going to make a sun because we've been talking about light. I'm going to make a sun. So I'm going to take my paper. I'm going to use this as a table. And I'm going to draw a sun. Kind of looks more like a firecracker. That's okay, that works too. So I drew out my firecracker / sun. Now I'm just going to cut it out. Use my scissors. And it doesn't have to be exact. What I love about this is that you aren't going to see the drawings. You're not going to see them when we're doing our puppet show. So it doesn't matter if you cut outside the lines or your drawings aren't perfect. You're just going to see the shadow. That's why they're called shadow puppets. Yeah, this definitely looks more like firecracker / firework, or kind of, you know how comic books have kapow or wow, things like that? Looks like that. Uh-oh. Got off my lines. That's okay. Alright, now that I have my shape, we are going to take our tape, if we can find it, here's my tape, and take one of our pencils or popsicle sticks or straws, and just tape it like that. Do you see that? Super easy. So now I'm going to be able to hold my puppet from the straw or the pencil at the bottom and use it like that. All right. So now you're going to need a flashlight or a lamp or a phone flashlight, anything like that to be the background light. And I'll show you how to use it in just a second. So go grab that and let's get started with our puppet show. All right, now that we have all of our supplies ready, we have our feeder all built. It kind of looks like a drum. We have the paper on the front, an empty box. We also have our puppets made, all cut out and on a stick. Now, to make all the magic happen, the secret is we put our lamp behind our box. Now, I have a lamp with my phone flashlight strapped onto it to make it extra bright. There's a sneak peek. And then I propped up my theater on a box so that you can see it. Looks like a big movie theater screen. Now it's time for our puppet show. Lights, camera, action. Hey friend, hey, I have a question for you. Jesus says that I'm supposed to be salt and light. What does that mean? Oh yeah, that's in the Bible. I read that too. Let's talk about it. Salt brings flavor into everything that we put it in. That's why we put it in so much of our food. We're called to bring flavor and joy and love into our life, into the people around us. Light, just like a flashlight, helps us see where we're going while we're in the dark. By being a light, we can help point people in a direction to have their own relationship with Jesus. By sharing Jesus' light and love, we can help them find the right direction. Oh, that makes so much sense. Thank you. No problem, buddy. My mind is blown. I hope you guys enjoyed our little puppet show. I am excited to see pictures and hear about the shows that you guys put on. But as we're talking about how to be light, let's think about ways that we can be a light in our community or within our house or in our classroom. We can be a light to people by helping them when they're struggling with something. Maybe it's homework, maybe it's they need a door opened. There's lots of ways to help people around us. We can also be a light by sending them a note, giving them a call, stopping by their house and waving from your car window. There's lots of ways to share love even in a time of COVID. Another way is to be super, super kind and loving and respectful to your teachers. That's another way to shine light, is show your teachers love and thankfulness and kindness and respect. That's another way that we can be light in this time where school's coming up. But you guys get creative with your puppet shows and get creative with how you want to be a light in your community. I'm excited to hear about it. Join us next week for another Making Things with Ms. Madison. Bloop, 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 bloop.